How to Handle Toxic People, a special holiday edition. The holidays are coming. If you're like most people watching this video right now, when you think about the family members that you haven't seen for so long and we finally get to see again, it makes you throw up in your mouth just a little bit, doesn't it? It does. If you're new to this channel, I'm communication skills expert Dan O'Connor. I specialize in what's called tactical communication, and I help people achieve their goal with very specific words and very specific tactics. But more importantly than anything else, it's important to me, and it's important that my students achieve their goals and conquer any challenge in a loving way, because there's nothing that you have to say that you can't say in a loving way. So to respond to some of these situations that we're going to be facing this holiday season in a loving way, that's going to take a Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa festive miracle. So pull down your Christmas stockings because I'm about to stuff them. You ready? Buckle up your sleigh belt because we have a lot of things to get through today. A lot. So what I'm going to do is break this up into 3 sections. Make sure to get notified when the other sections come out. Again, hit that notification bell after you subscribe to this channel because these are going to be things that are life-changing, especially for people who have not yet found their voice. You're going to be learning about clarifying questions. You're going to be learning about how to call people on their behavior. And you're going to be learning about how to set boundaries. Today, I'm going to focus on simply how to set boundaries because that's a biggie. That is a biggie. So ho, 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 and let's get going. You ready? Let's talk about setting boundaries. Let's say that you are at a holiday party and you're sitting next to your Aunt Ruth. This holiday season, we have a special component that we're adding to the mix. Half of the people in any room, if you're in the United States, are going to be kind of mad at the other half of the people in the room because of our recent election. And people just won't be able to help themselves but talk politics. And the first people that they will want to talk politics with are the people that they are mad at. So if you are on the opposite side of some of your relatives, guaranteed, this holiday season, they're going to sit right down next to you and talk about what's been going on in politics and educate you a little bit on the truth. Okay, so let's say that that happens. You're sitting down next to your lovely Aunt Jessie, and Jessie says,
"So, who did you vote for this year?"
And you're like, "Ugh, God, here we go." Instead of engaging in that conversation, how do you set boundaries and say, I'm not talking about that. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to enjoy myself. Whether that's with you or not, I'm here to enjoy myself. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of stocking stuffers as a bonus for this one. When you are telling somebody about your boundaries and you want to appear to be cool, calm, and collected, like they're not really rattling your cage too much, because remember, if people who are trying to rattle your cage know that they are doing it, the odds of them continuing have gone up. One of the ways that you can tell people, I'm serious, I'm not putting up with that behavior, but you're not rattling my cage, is by doing this. Let's say that, you're eating your holiday turkey leg or whatever it is that you're eating, your tater tot casserole, and you're eating it, and that's when your Aunt Jessie or your Aunt Ruth decides to make one of these comments that's crossing boundaries. Maybe as you're taking a bite of your turkey leg, and if instead of turning first, which I, under normal circumstances, would recommend, to face somebody and face them head on, because remember that you want to, in general, lean into somebody as you're delivering the message. That will come later on in this message because they might catch me off guard when it would be a physical impossibility for me to lean into them. But you want to lean in just like a bull would before they charge. Before a bull rams their horns through you, they tilt their head forward a little bit. Before Maggie eats you, she's going to lean in towards you a little bit. Remember, there's no head tilting to the side with a bull or with Maggie. They're not, passive saying, oh, this is curious what I find here. Now, there is a special little tilt that you can do where you pivot and swivel just a little bit, because that says, really? Let me see you take that toy before I eat you. That's a little bit different from woof, which is saying I would like a Scooby snack. So let's say that I am eating my turkey leg and somebody crosses a boundary. If instead of turning my head to them, which most of us do instinctively, I simply look at them and then say, Ruth, I'm sure that you're not trying to judge me and my parenting skills in front of my children. Now, when you do that, when I, instead of turn to face you, I first look at you out of the corner of my eye, letting you know I'm turning my crosshairs onto you first because I'm quick. Then I'm going to lean into you and put myself in position. And during the message, lean forward as I say it. So if I were to put that all together, I might say something such as, no, this is in the upcoming lesson about calling people out on their behavior. I'm eating away. And then Ruth says something about, so I hear your daughter's going to a new school. How does she like that? Ruth, I'm sure that you're not trying to judge me and my parenting skills right here in front of my children. Okay, so during that little exchange, you can see how my body language changed. I turned to face her, and from the moment she made her comment, I locked eyes on her, and I'm going to turn to face her without breaking that eye contact. Then I lean in forward a little bit. That type of body language is very aggressive, and it's letting the person know I am so focused on you right now, nothing could tear me away. So I'm going to deliver my message, and when it's all done, I'm going to get back to my tater tot hot dish. Okay? So that's one key. Another key is keep using the other person's name during the message if you believe that they really need to be singled out or called out. Ruth, I'm sure you're not trying to judge my parenting skills, especially right here in front of my children, right, Ruth? But I think I need to tell you, Ruth, if you throw somebody's name in 3 times, that's letting them know this is a confrontational situation and I'm confronting you rather than walking away from it. So that's another key. And the third key I'd like to give you is give people the benefit of the doubt that if they knew a better way, they would take it. Because as miserable as they appear to be trying to make you at the moment, they wouldn't be doing that unless they themselves were that miserable or more to begin with. Because if they knew a better way that would get their needs met while showing you great love right there at that party, they would do that. If they knew what that felt like, they would do that. Anybody would. They don't know that. So forgive them and recognize that they're doing the best they can with what they've got. Don't take it too personally. Show them a better way. That's what we're here to do, okay? Here's how you tell somebody, I don't go there, in a variety of different situations. Number 1, you're going to give them the benefit of you setting boundaries first. Remember that when we structure our sentences or our messages, the power in our messages lies at the beginning and at the end. Number 2, I'm going to tell you what the behavior is that we're talking about. What I'm saying, you can't do that with me. Then we're going to do number 3, get your buy-in. Because if you agree to it, whether or not you are doing it with a happy heart, the simple fact that you agree to respecting my boundaries is going to increase the odds that you shall do that. And then number 4, I don't like these conversations, so I'm going to transition away using a transitional phrase. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Benefit, behavior, buy-in, transition. What I recommend you do is if you are taking the course from which I am gathering this information, you will have the materials that go along with it. If you don't have those materials, if you're not taking the course, make flashcards or make quick reference cards, make visual aids, because we are visual learners. That is the best way for us to learn and then really solidify our communication skills. We're visual people. We communicate visually. And you want to have visual cues and visual reminders and visual study aids to help you learn these tactics so that when you find yourself in this situation where you are with your difficult people, your toxic people, you don't forget your skills. Because remember, the way our brain works, it is in just the times that we need our tactics the most, where we are most likely to forget them. Just when we most need to be on point is when we are most likely to forget what that means to us and what our tactics or our strategies are. Therefore, you want to practice them over and over and over and over and over again. I'm going to help you do that during these lessons or during my course. If you'd like more information on that course, by the way, I'm going to put it in the description below. And if you're looking to register for one of my upcoming courses, remember VIP members, you do not need to pre-register because you can take any course for free. If you wanted to register for one of my upcoming courses and you're not yet registered or a VIP member, I recommend you do it within 7 days of this video being posted, or else you won't get a seat. And if you wanted to get a VIP membership, it gives you access to everything in my store, both past, present, and future. And if you have any problems affording anything in my store, anything, let me know, because it's the holiday season especially. But even if it weren't, I will always try to help you get whatever you need to help you with your life or your challenges, no matter what your budget is. So let me know what that is that might help you. And if you can't afford it, I'll work with you. If you can afford it, don't ask, because if you can afford it, that helps me help other people who can't afford it. And I want to help as many people as I can, especially when it's something like communication skills, which are so life-changing. So now here's what you say. You ready? Number 1, benefit. Ruth, it is because I love you so much and value our relationship and want it to remain strong. And in addition, I want everybody here to have a good time, that I've decided to, number 2, behavior, put a moratorium on any political talk at all this year. Number 3, get your buy-in. And so I'm sure you can respect that, right? Number 4, transition. Speaking of a good fight, did you see the Cowboys game today? Now that was a good one. Simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1, benefit. Because I value our relationship and I want it to continue to be a healthy one, full of love, however you say that. Number 2, I've decided to place a moratorium on any political talk at all this year. I love to say moratorium because when you say moratorium, that has a very weighty sound to it. Moratorium sounds like muerte, death. I have killed that subject. It's dead. It is dead to me. And I don't want our relationship to be dead to me. So I'm sure you can respect that. I'm getting your buy-in. There are 2 words that I like to use when I'm asking for somebody's buy-in when it comes to boundaries: respect and honor. So I've made that decision that I put a moratorium on any political talk at all with family members. And I'm sure you can honor that, can't you? Now, when I ask you to honor that or respect that, I'm going to use a tag question. I'm sure you can honor that, can't you? You can respect that, can't you? Instead of saying something such as, can you respect that? Or will you honor that? If you say instead, you can honor that, can't you? You can respect that, can't you? That dramatically increases the odds of them saying in that moment, yes. And when you get their buy-in, again, that increases the odds that they will actually do that they will actually respect that or honor that. And then I want to transition away. So on Thanksgiving, for example, when our first holiday extravaganza took place, there was a Cowboys game. That's a lot of fighting. That's what I'm trying to avoid here. Oh, that's a connection. By the way, did you see the Cowboys game this afternoon? By the way, or maybe it's just a little aggressive. Speaking of aggressive talk, did you see that Cowboys game? There are 3 phrases that you can use to transition from anything to anything. By the way, that reminds me, speaking of, those 3 things can connect 2 ideas. Can connect 2 ideas or 2 thoughts that are completely unconnected and unrelated and make them appear to be connected. Anything. I mean, really, never has anyone ever asked me, why did that make you think of that? If I used a transitional phrase such as, that reminds me, blah, blah, blah. And if they had, I've been waiting forever to use my tactic. Well, the mind is a mysterious thing. By the way, did you hear about the blah? You know what I mean? The mind is a mysterious thing. I don't know why this reminded me of that. I don't know when I look at you why I think of the abominable snowman, but I do. The mind is a mysterious thing. By the way, did you watch the replay of the abominable snowman? Those types of cartoons just seem to never go out of style. Every single year when they come on, I love them. What do you think? Transition. When I clearly set boundaries and I let you know, hey, that's not the way I communicate. And I'm letting you know so that we can be clear and so that our relationship can grow. What's more loving and more assertive than that? That is just filled with the holiday spirit. Now, or let's say that my Aunt Jessie, Ruth, says something to me like,
All right. Okay. So, by the way, did you see who your cousin Sheila brought to the party?
Now, that might be that, hey, this boundary is, I don't want to gossip about my cousins. I don't want to gossip about the people that I love. So I might say something such as, Ruth, wait a minute. It's because I love everybody here so much and I want to honor them and I want them to honor me and love me back. I have decided not to engage in any type of talk that has even a whiff of gossip or backstabbing or anything like that. And I'm sure that you can honor that decision, can't you? And we can find something else to talk about. In fact, speaking of who's bringing who where, that reminds me, did you watch the last Golden Globes Awards? Simple. Let's gossip about people on the red carpet and what they wore. I can do that. If I've decided not to gossip about people in my family, that's a tough one when other people in your family come up to you and start to gossip with you because, you feel like, especially if you're an outsider, you feel like maybe this is my chance to be an insider. If I'm in on the conversation, and then you get drawn in and the next thing you know, you are more on the outs than ever before. Not that that's ever happened to me, but if it feels like it might be happening to you, set boundaries. Let people know it's because I love these people that I have decided not to engage in any type of conversation that could even be considered, that even has a whiff of backstabbing or gossip. And I'm sure that you can honor that, can't you? By the way, that reminds me, did you watch who so-and-so brought to the red carpet during the last Golden Globes Awards? Now that we can talk about, whatever. Let's say that it's even a work situation. And there are two people that start to argue during some type of holiday festival. And when you're outside of work, those boundaries can be pretty unclear. And people, especially when they're in the sauce, can start to behave in a way that they wouldn't necessarily behave at work. And they're a little bit less respectful. And let's say that two people are fighting about one thing and they just look over at you and say, hey, Dan, you were there. You saw it. Tell them what you saw. You could say, oh, well, it's because I value the relationship I have with not just both of you, but everyone here at this table. I have decided to steer clear from any type of divisive talk or conversation, especially during this holiday feast, which is meant to bring us together. And I'm sure that you can respect that, can't you? Thank you, I'm sure. By the way, speaking of coming together, did you see what Susie did in the accounting department and how that brought everybody together? Way to go, Susie. I just transitioned right off of that and onto that and told them, hey, I'm not engaging in that. And when you do that, remember, what you're doing is not only gaining huge respect from everybody who's watching and who's thinking to themselves, oh my God, why didn't I do that 20 years ago? How come I haven't learned how to do that? I've got to do more of that. You will gain so much respect from everybody watching, and not just that. You will teach people how to do that. And you will show people that it's okay to do that. You will be giving permission, not just to everybody else, who you will be giving it to. You will be giving, by the nature of you doing that, you will be giving permission to the upcoming generation to do that, to respect themselves, to not let people drag them into things that they don't want to be dragged into, to not disrespect themselves or their family or let other people cross their boundaries just so they can survive a holiday party. You will be teaching them how and giving them permission to. And ipso facto, you will be doing the same thing for yourself. And you will walk away from these holiday gatherings. Instead of feeling like, oh my God, that was horrible, you will walk away feeling like, I can't wait for the next one to come because I just grew in a way that I didn't even know was possible. And I like these people once I trained them how to treat me. That was great. And I can't wait to do it again. So what we're going to do in our next lesson is talk about number 2, how to call people out on their behavior. I'll give you a little holiday preview. It starts like this. Ruth, I'm sure that you're not purposely trying to judge me or my parenting skills right here in front of my children. That's how it starts. I can't wait to see you back at that one because it's a whopper. So get out your candy canes and make sure to subscribe. And again, hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when that video comes out. And remember that during these conversations, no matter how you say things or no matter what you say it in a loving way. Because if you are lucky enough to be with people that you love during this holiday season, if you are so blessed to be with the people that you love during this holiday season, bless them back and only use loving words with them and only use loving words with yourself. We all deserve that. You deserve to be with people you love, and they deserve to get the best of you, and that means really loving words. So only speak loving words to people, even if it's not your family this holiday season, because there's no message that you have to send that you can't send in a loving way. I guarantee that. And if you have any problems or any challenges doing that, that's what I'm here for. So let me know, get in touch. And again, if you need any resources or anything that I have in my store, including the VIP Pass, which covers all courses and all my resources, if you have any challenges financially, let me know and I'll help you get whatever you need, no matter what your budget is, even if it's zero. So I hope to hear from all of you soon. And if I don't see you or hear from you before, I hope that your holidays are filled with love. And I hope that you are surrounded with people that you love and that you love right back. You all deserve that. So for everyone here at Dan O'Connor Training, this is Dan O'Connor wishing you a happy holidays and signing off.